friends. I am so excited to be able to steal some time away and share with you, oops, everything that I made in 2025. And it was a great making year for me, a great reading year for me. 2025 was a really, really good year for me. But here is everything I made. Everything I made and remade in 2025. You guys, I'm so excited to share with you guys that I had this pattern, Universal Yarns, Cinnamon Swirl, Stole, pattern in the works for 3 years. And if you are a Ko-fi member, thank you so much for all of your support, your encouragement, all the laughs that we have had over me working on this pattern. If you're interested in seeing the original vlog for this pattern, check out my description, and it has, or in the description below, there's a link to my Ko-fi account where I actually post seasonal vlogs as well as just occasionally some little short, very almost shorts of what I'm working on, and of course, yarn, and a little bit too of what's going on here with me in my life in Florence, Alabama, so northern Alabama. But anyways, back to the Cinnamon Swirl Stole. I won't make this again. I was not prepared. Well, you know what? I would make this as a gift. I sure would. I take that back. I take that back. I could make this again. I could gift this again. I could commission this again. But it was a work of love. But it's gorgeous. It's so, so gorgeous. In the vlog, I do talk more about how this came to be and this much, much cleaner edge. Just check that out. Check that out. But this was a beautiful pattern that came with the kit. Universal, there we go. Universal Yarns has holiday kits, seasonal, well, actually not holiday, winter season kits typically in November, December. And this was one. Love, 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 love the outcome. Get tons of compliments on it. It uses their cotton Rossetti. See, it's been a while, Rossetti yarn, but this was the first project that I finished. Look at the cables in 2025. So it started off being a great year of making for me. I was so excited to share with you guys because I finished a few patterns. If you're new to this channel, I mainly self-draft and love socks, but I worked on basically a few shawls this year, and the second one that I want to share with you guys is one of my most favorite patterns. It is a Tunisian crochet pattern. I love this. This is the Obtuse Shawl by Detroit Knots. You can find her patterns on Etsy. I'm not quite sure about her direct site. I know she's also on Ravelry. Very, very easy to follow and gorgeous results every time. Now, this first yarn is Dried Flowers, one of the first yarns that Ashley of Paper Crane Yarns dyed when she had an Etsy account at the time, but now she has her own website, papercraneyarns.com. She's also on Instagram. And the second color, this coral, is Beachy Breeze Yarn Company. These are some deeper stash yarns, but I'm so happy this was the perfect pattern for it. And I made this in the spring. Gorgeous, just absolutely love it. And this is only is this 2 skeins? 1.5. So 1 skein for the coral, I think, no, 1 skein, yeah. 1 skein and maybe a little bit more of the dried flowers, and it's just gorgeous. It's the perfect spring shawl for me. Actually, that was the third thing that I made last year. The second was, I absolutely love these socks. Love these socks. And I've shared with you guys on my channel, and you can find it in the playlist and possibly just straight in the videos, how I make my crochet socks. I get so many, and yes, they're dirty. Forgive me, they're dirty, but they're being lovingly worn constantly. And that's one thing I love about wool socks, is that you can wear them without them getting smelly. I mean, you have debris, but without them getting too smelly, and you don't have to wash them as often, depending on how, you know, how rough you are, how much, where your socks been. You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of wear out of these. This yarn is hard for me to pronounce, but it was an opal yarn gifted to me from Claudia of Sunbird Crochet. Claudia is from Germany. She's a YouTuber, and I hope you go check her out. But she gifted me this gorgeous yarn. I have another skein of yarn, gorgeous color, that she gifted, and they, if I'm not mistaken, it's 100% wool, not merino, but perfect workhorse yarn, and the stitches were gorgeous. Now, yarns and hooks for me, I think I'm a looser crocheter, so I always have to go down. But each sock yarn is different, and this was a gorgeous sock yarn. I love the colors. I love the feel. It would have made such cute mittens. I wish I just had enough to make matching mittens or a matching beanie, because I love these so much. I get so much wear out of them. And if you're interested in following just my simple crochet sock tutorial, it's here on my channel. Just check out the playlist. But with this particular heel, it is one of my like turned row heels that I use for this sock pattern. Y'all, I mean, what can I say? I love it. And I believe at the time I was reading the book Orbital, but again, there's a vlog on my Ko-fi account when I make the socks, and then more tips of how I made them. Now, by the fall, I really, for some strange reason, and that's my season. I love fall. Pumpkin spice latte, everything. Pumpkin, everything for me. But that was the season where I went through a lot of my fall crochet socks, beanies, and since I had made what I'm about to show you, I used to have a huge fro. If you're a long time viewer, you remember all the hair. But I wear my hair shorter and cropped now, which I like so much more. Feels like me. And I was just not wanting to move into anything new until I could really enjoy crochet fall. It was mainly my fall crochet I was looking at that I could fit and wear it and be comfortable in it. So I reworked three crochet items. One was a pair of socks, and I've shared this with you guys before. Again, this is my own crochet sock recipe, but at the time that I made this, I made it to fit exactly, and there was not enough room or give. This was using Earth with a U, Earth Yarns. I am not crazy about the yarn as far as the feel and the touch. It is harsher than a workhorse yarn, but look at the longevity I'll have with this. So it's merino. Yes, is it a merino? It's a merino wool. I believe it's really skinny thin 2-ply. And what I loved about this was that they gave you 2 matching skeins of yarn that would give you the exact same result. So if you were a knitter, or if you, what's it called, concurrently crochet, you could work 2 at a time. So I kind of work like a halfway past. So if I was here, I would probably be here on my second sock, but I did work them 2 at a time. The hook size that I used for this pair was a 2.75 millimeter hook, which is a pretty small hook. So you can imagine how tight my stitches were. So I went in, I reworked it. I only reworked in this area. I had gained a few more increases, but And I also, by this time, had learned to hide where my increases and decreases were. And I forget who I learned it from, probably Tony Lipsy of TL Yarn Crafts, probably. But I hooked into, instead of above the stitch, when I worked over the next row, pull it in, and it makes it almost a seamless increase. Look, love these. They fit amazing. They're on and off so much easier. And two, I wear them all the time. There's not as much debris, but I've gotten several wears from it. The second thing is my beloved, my favorite beanie. It had originally, I used this is one of the first beanies I ever made. Used the shell stitch and it had just typical double crochets. It would be 2 rows and then work in the back loop of the next, you know, that was the pattern. And it was okay, but we had a pretty cold, quite a few cold days this fall. So I wanted to switch up the stitching. So I went back, picked it back, got a little lazy, so I didn't make this very clean. But I went back, picked it back, and tried a simple Tunisian stitch to really close in those gaps and I need extra warmth. I mean, to give me some extra warmth, and I love it. I was not particular, and I talk about this more in the vlog on my Ko-fi account, but I wasn't very particular about the seam, so I didn't do any research on how, and I think it turned out okay. And it's underneath when I wear it, so it's a perfect fit. I removed maybe an inch because I don't need it. It's still slouchy, but I removed about an inch. Love it. Want to see more? I talked about it quite a bit on Ko-fi. The last of my reworkings, I was not happy about. You can see that in the vlog. I did not hold back. My daughter accidentally washed my swancho. So if you remember me making this, you know how much effort it took to make it, and you know the surgery, the swancho surgery that I put into it, because swanchos have sleeves and they have longer borders typically. But to be honest with you, this is a great fit, and I'm going to show you. This is like an amalgamation of so many different yarns, and some of them I don't quite remember because it's been a little while, but the fit is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Look at here. I loving it as a poncho, although it was not the original purpose. We won't get into that. But this hot chocolate mix, I think, came from Lady Di Yarns. These beautiful baubles you see here are another paper crane yarn. This is a cascade, I believe, another cascade. And some of the yarns, this tonal is Lion Brand's just merino. It's just the DK merino. And I also had used, what is it called? I was not crazy about it. Drops Charisma. So itchy. But, oh, and that's where my seam is. That's a pretty good seam. You can barely see it. But I still love it. I still get quite a bit of wear, as you can see. It's still one of my favorite pieces. Such a nice fall drifting into winter piece. Look at the drape. Look at the drape. Look at the drape. Look at the drape. I absolutely love it. And here in Alabama, even northern Alabama, we will still have a few warmer days, like today. I forget what day today is. Maybe the January 9th. It's 60 something degrees. Yes, you need a light jacket or a heavier sweater, but ponchos are great seasons for this, and you rarely see ponchos that aren't solid, so multicolored, that have fresh fall winter look to them. Absolutely love it. And because I had to pick, and I tried to salvage some of the yarn, and I had a little left over as well of the Drops Charisma. Forget that it was just a numbered colorway. Was not crazy about it, but the stiff definition. This is I guess you can call this an unfinished piece with the Drops Charisma. It is very itchy. I approve of it for outerwear, but not, oh, see, it's just itchy, but not next to skin. It sounds very, you hear that? It has a very scratchy sound, even though it is 100% wool. It's a rustic wool. Look at the stitch definition. Oh my goodness. It would probably make a great pullover if you intend to wear like a button down or something underneath the turtleneck. Of course, this is self-drafted. This is a freestyle. I was really feeling granny stitches at the time, but I always like a little extra texture. I'm really not a cable person, but I do like some raised texture, and so that's all that I did. I have that beginner granny triangle, very simple, and then I would make, is it 3 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows with three front post crochet stitches. I think it's every 5th stitch in those sections, and I just had a great time. Now, my intentions, because this is like kind of a mini shawl, my intentions for this is to wear it as a cowl. I have enough left. I wish I would have worn this as a shawl had I had more to salvage, but I couldn't. So as a cowl, I plan to connect with this loose and stitch. So I plan to connect, stitch the stitch an opening basically, and then I want to make sure you can see. I'll take it off and show you too, but I kind of want you to see how it looks. I will block this, and that's why I haven't, because the weather turned really cold by the time I could block it, and I would prefer to block it outside. But I plan to, here we go, it might stay. I plan to stitch the back, leaving the bottom a little open, like kind of like winged open, so it falls just like it is now, but just stitch right along the middle and leaving right along the middle up the back, stopping where I would want it to at my neck, so it would gather nicely here and not leave a huge gap there, but still fall and kind of like a cute little flap across my back here. So in a way, sort of like a dicky, sort of like a cowl, but it's really more like a cowl. But look at this stitch definition. Oh, this is going to be so lovely block, and it will be a lot bigger block, and I'm intending this to really wear with my coats. So this is be a great addition to my outer garments, because sometimes it gets really, really cold, and it's very nice to have a lot of warmth around your neck, but I don't want it so high up that it will irritate my neck. So I'm so excited about that. And last but not least, so excited, I have wanted, thank you so much, Michelle. I could just kiss you for making this yarn available again. It's Fancy Pumpkins. Oh my goodness. Woolens and Nosh. I have coveted so many people's yarn stashes that had these gorgeous Targy socks. Yes, mine are crochet. And this like baby coral, like you have like baby blue, this baby coral color. Oh, I love these so much. They're striped. I love these so much. I have, did I match these? I tried to match these exactly. I love these so much. I tend to, and I didn't say this before, but I tend to like a wedge toe design. You will find my crochet recipe here on my channel. You guys, I finally have my very own Fancy Pumpkins crochet socks. You guys. Okay, so I mentioned that you can find this pattern here with Denise's Target yarns. They're very consistent, and I typically use a 3mm hook, but these particular ones, for whatever reason, it must have just been, I like the stitch definition. Look at this. Look at the stretch. Look at the stretch. I used a 2.75. No, 2.5. 2.5. I don't know. But look at this. Looky. I love you so much. So, I just, if you know that feeling you get when you see something and it's what you really, really want, and you finally get it and you have it and it's yours, it's your baby, and you created it, you know exactly how I feel right now. I love you socks. Okay, that's enough of gushing over the socks. So that is everything that I made in 2025, and I don't plan to post again here. I am really enjoying just keeping my post on Ko-fi. Posts include pictures and videos. I'm just much more comfortable in that space, but I think this is something that I might continue, is a video for the public here on YouTube, everything that I made that year. And I especially have more time to get the video out to you, and you guys deserve quality videos in my opinion. If I'm putting it out there to the world, I want to make sure that I'm able to give you that and it be crisp and precise. But those that love me and roll with me and don't mind it being a little raw, please join me on Ko-fi for more content of what I get up to in my Knotty Crush journeys and just my Knotty Crushes, y'all. I'm loving yarn. So very happy with these, but since I'm here and I was working on some stuff earlier, I'm going to share with you my current works. And yes, everything's self-drafted, but I could possibly make a tutorial if you're interested. One is a sweater, one is a sock. Give me a second. So I said sweater first. Let's do sock first. So I haven't picked these up in a while. I forget who made these bags. I love these bags so much. I love a theme. And I love gingerbread men so much. And 'tis the season, like when all the leaves fall off the tree and the leaves look so worn, torn, and weathered, where you think you can't really appreciate what they are, they still have that cozy feel, like teddy bears and gingerbreads and everything else that's warm and cozy, that's not bright and vibrant as fall. I really embrace. I typically have in past years didn't like winter, but now I realize it's just a time to slow down, and I embrace all the cozinesses of winter. Love me a gingerbread. So the Wool and Frog on Etsy made these. I'm long-winded. Made these gorgeous bags. What I love more than anything, besides the pattern, like I love the pattern, they have grips, they have handles, they have the cutest and most perfect size pockets. No, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not, but I can't deny that these are some of my favorite things. Even the sweater size bag. Look at this bad boy. Has the same thing, except it has more pockets. I think I got 2. Absolutely love it. So on to what I'm working on. I shared that. Yes, just making sure. I love everything gingerbread and spice during this time. These make me so happy. I recently started and put them down because I was in a mood to make a sweater on another pair of socks. And I actually have a yarn label this time. with Buxom Cat Knits. You can find her on Etsy, and she also has her own site. She may not be on Etsy anymore. So this is Buxom Cat Knits. This colorway is Cherry Tree, but it looks like gingerbread to me. Love it. Let's see. There we go. Look at those colors. Look how nicely it matches my sweater. I love it, love it, love it. Look at here. There we go. Oh, look at the pinks. Oh, anyways, I also had, just couldn't believe I had a matching stitch marker by Little Bitty Delights. It's not Itty Bitty Delights. I think it's Little Bitty Delights. Oh, look at here. I just love. So of course it is handmade. Gorgeous. Her yarns are very soft. I do expect some pilling, but maybe not. And I purchased this a little while back, and boy, her yarns are hot. Like, you have to get them so quickly. But they came with 2 contrasting colors. They're very pastel-y, and I think they are true to color of what you're seeing, just a tad bit darker. But anyways, I'm going to use my typical crochet recipe pattern with the turn row heel, and I'm using a 2.5 millimeter hook. This 2.5 millimeter hook, typically I would use 2.75 millimeter for my sock yarns and my fingering weight yarns, but this 2.5 is just giving amazing stitch definition, and it still has give, it still has stretch, and I don't know, it might be a new favorite. And it was hard to find. This is a clover hook, and I did find it on Amazon. Loving these. But I am finally on Sleeve Island with my sweater, and I'm tired of working with finger weight yarns, so I went up a little bit and started on with some sock weight yarns, some wool, some universal wool. They're Tweed Deluxe, I think is what it's called, and porcelain. I'm also using R.I.P. Joanne. Some Joann's K and C cotton. This is so good. And also some Bernat cotton tee yarn. So I don't think Fair Isle looks good on me. I went in the store because Fair Isle is so lovely. It don't work for me. I went in the store, one of my favorite stores, and tried on a few Fair Isle sweaters. I was right. It's not for me. But I do like a little color work. You can see for my swancho / nail poncho. And y'all, this did it for me. So I have been considering making a video if anyone is interested, but this is so basic. The only thing I would possibly do different in the video is I would change. I started with a back post only double crochet. Yes, I'm saying it right. Back post and 3rd loop crochet around the collar, which I started first. I would not do that again. I would use if you just don't want to block, you can if you don't mind blocking, but I don't want to block this winter, and it has been a pain to work with this black yarn. And I would just use the single crochet worked in the back stitch that I did here. This is a labor of love, but it's almost mindless after. This is so good. It's so gingerbready. It's so, oh y'all, it's mindless after the color work, which I kept to a minimum because I don't enjoy color work, but I like what color work does for me. You know what I mean? Like just the pops. Stitch definition. Incredible with these yarns. Using, I think it's 3.75 hook. It's that pink clover hook. 3.75 F hook. Y'all. And all this color work is, and I'll give you a little preview of the floats. Can't believe I made something with floats. is just switching up each when you get to this. To me, the true color work is just holding these two yarns and working over the other. That's all that it is. Working over like 5 or 6 stitches of one, picking the color up. But there's kind of a nice tip as to how you can pick the color up so it looks cleaner. So that basically, if you're working with this porcelain and you pick up the black color, you would want to pick up the porcelain yarn before you finish that second stitch here, and that way you don't have a white top. When you switch or like the opposite color here, it'll stay the same color. That is my only big tip for this. But y'all, and I don't need many decreases because I just have little skinny arms, you know. It's only a little thick around here. So and I guess maybe a tip is where you decide to join. This is a simple rag. I started as a raglan and wanted to speed it up, and so I added a few extra stitches because I'm not flat chested. Don't have much, but not flat chested. And so I just did like 2 extra increases. So 4 increases in the front, 4 increases in the back, but continued that raglan style. That's what I did. And then I joined. And then I worked the black around, began a little small decreased again when I switched yarn colors. Y'all, that's it. And yes, I plan on, I don't know how yet, but have the sleeves black, but I'm not sure right before, not the sleeves, sorry, the cuff black, if I want to do this pattern before the cuff or just black cuffs. I don't know. Or this portion black before the cuffs and continue the ribbed cuffs in black. I don't know yet, but I'm excited. So that's what I'm gonna be working on at the beginning of the year, and I guess I won't see you guys again in this style and format on the channel unless you come over and join us at Ko-fi in the Ko-fi discussion. But that's it. I hope that you guys have a great winter, a great year. Try some fun new things. I am planning on following a few more sock patterns. But I don't know what I'm gonna get into, but I'm feeling the season right now, and I hope you guys are safe and warm, and I will see you again in the next video. Y'all take care. Have a great year. Bye bye.